Okay, can y'all hear me now? Okay. All right. Looks like we back. We back. I had to switch over to another, just like I had to switch from Chrome to Bing. That was crazy. It's always something. Anyway, let's do it. All right. So can you let me connect? All right. So you all can hear me. Can you see me? Can you hear me now on YouTube? Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. See, the devil just tries to get you every time, but we're back. All right. So, happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday. And this is our favorite subject. And thank you, Courtney, for the confirmation. All right. This is our favorite subject, as we all like to talk about, right? Fragrances. But guess what? Today, we are actually going to have our first episode in our fragrance series. So, welcome to the fragrance table. That is what we are going to call this. This is the first episode in that series. All right. So, from now on, the last Wednesday of every month, we will have another episode at the fragrance table. And let me turn off this light so it's not reflecting. That should be better, right? So it's not reflecting on you all. All right. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host, the one and only Tina D, also owner of Nuts About Candles. So, I am a candle maker like many of you. Haven't dabbled into soap yet, but you never know. Melt and pour is my thing. So, I may start playing around with that here shortly. What we're going to talk about are a couple things. I always give a quick recap of what we talked about last week. If you are watching on the replay, if you can go ahead and let's get the YouTube stuff out of the way. If you can go ahead and hit that like button for me. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right. So last week we talked about shipping. Hopefully you all learned something from that. How many of you went out there and got your free UPS labels that we talked about, or FedEx if that applies to you? If not, go back and watch that episode. For the fragrance series, right? For the fragrance series, and my light just kicked off. For the fragrance series, it really starts at 8, episode number 8. All right. And I'm going to, after this podcast, I will go back and turn on the other episodes, which are 12, 13, and 14 for another week. I'll go ahead and open those back up so that you have access to the previous recipes. And then I will make them private again. And the reason why I made them private is for a project that I'm working on in the background. All right. So that's the recap for last week. And don't forget to go back and watch Basics, which is episode 8. And then after this podcast, it will be 12, 13, and 14. I will open them up. All right. And of course, if you have any comments, go ahead and type them in. And welcome to the show. This week, our discussion is going to be about fall fragrances. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to go ahead and grab your pen and a piece of paper, because you know how we do it over here. We always have recipes that we give out. And again, the special for today is going to be fall fragrance blends. All right, so I'll give you just a few moments to do that. And for anybody that is joining us out there in Instagram land, welcome, welcome. I actually tried to add TikTok on, but TikTok wasn't cooperating with me today. So I'll have to try that at a later date. All right, now that should have been plenty of time for you to grab a pen and paper. And if not, you can always catch the replay. All right. And if you're new to us, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and get that out of the way. We meet here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right. If you all are ready, I'm ready. Our first one that we have up are going to be kind of like fall. These are really fall, but they can really be used any time of the year. And this is in no particular favorite order this time. All right. The first one is going to be pumpkin bread. Pumpkin bread. And for those of you that are new to the channel or watching the replay, how we do this is I will call it out. I will give you the recipe, and then Courtney, who is one of my moderators on the mod squad here, she will put up the supplier on the screen. All right. And I got to give somebody the challenge out there in the comments. I have something that I need to share with you all that I just got today. And I want to make sure that I made you all aware of it because I think it's a good thing for those of us that use this particular supplier. All right. So don't let me forget to do that. All right. So the first one is pumpkin bread. Pumpkin bread. All right. And this one is a blend of pumpkin, cinnamon, nutmeg, and brown sugar. All right. And again, some of these are essential oil blends, so you might have to modify for fragrance oil. All right. So that pumpkin bread is pumpkin, cinnamon, nutmeg, and brown sugar. And the Chandler's Rose, if you hear something that I say that should be translated to something else, you know to jump in as always, as she is my in-house fragrance blending consultant along with Courtney, but Courtney's doing something else and Jayla's in the background. So somebody's going to check me on something. All right. The next one, cinnamon bun. Cinnamon bun. So these are all like kind of like food and warm and cozy stuff. Cinnamon bun is cinnamon, sugar, vanilla. So sugar, there's a couple different things we can substitute for sugar, but pretty much cinnamon and vanilla. All right. The next one is vanilla chai. And let me put this way so I'm not looking away so much. Vanilla chai is vanilla, chai spices, and cardamom. So Chandler's Rose, what do you suggest for the cardamom substitute on that one? And I'll wait for her to answer. All right, let me see some of my comments here. Bear with me for 1 second. All right, and if you are watching the replay or if you are watching on Instagram, you're going to have to go over to the YouTube comments and you'll be able to see all of the suppliers that Courtney is listing in the comments. All right. And actually, she's got all of them out there already. Oh, wow. Okay. Cardamom is tricky to sub. Okay. For Chandler's Rose. Courtney found one in Northwood Candle Supply. But also for cardamom, you can substitute Arabian spice. Ooh, I like that substitute. I like that one. All right, let me keep going. All right. Fresh balsam. Fresh balsam. This one is balsam, fir, pine, and cedar. Balsam, fir, pine, and cedar. All right, so Courtney found a balsam pine. All right, so that's like a shortcut. So the only thing you have to add to that would be cedar. And she did cedar wood because I was getting ready to ask you, what about cedar wood? All right, so let's talk about that one really quick. Fresh balsam is going to be balsam pine and cedar wood. And she also found Fraser fir. So she gave you a couple different things. All right. The next one is called Merry Mint. Merry Mint. This one is a blend of peppermint, eucalyptus, and fir. Peppermint, eucalyptus, and fir. You love mint, Jayla? So I got to remember that citrus and mint for you. Okay. And white eucalyptus. And Jayla, send and shout out to you too. I didn't speak to you today. So hello. All right. All right. So Courtney has caught up with me in the chat. All right. The next one is gingerbread latte. All right. This one, gingerbread latte, is a blend of gingerbread, cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. Gingerbread, cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. Oh, this is making me hungry. All right. How about peppermint bark? The next one, peppermint bark. This one is a blend of peppermint, chocolate, and vanilla. Peppermint, chocolate, and vanilla. All right, that's peppermint bark. All right. And the next one is hot cocoa. Hot cocoa is chocolate, cocoa, and vanilla. Chocolate, cocoa, and vanilla. All right. So again, Courtney is keeping up with me as far as the suppliers go. All right. So we'll keep going. Out of the food or gourmand area, vanilla bean is the last one. And it is pretty much that, just vanilla bean. I think there's a vanilla bean Noel. Oh, wow. Courtney even found cocoa, authentic cocoa. Okay. I ain't mad at you, Courtney. Oh, I figured that was going to be Bulk Apothecary or someplace like that. Okay. All right. So now we're getting into our fall fruity blends. Fall fruity blends. All right. And the first one is going to be apple cider donut. Apple cider donut. And that one is a combination of apple, cinnamon, and sugar, which we've talked about cinnamon and sugar. The supplier for that is already in the note in the comments. And now we're adding apple. All right. Apple, cinnamon, and sugar is apple cider donut. All right. We have a message from or a comment from the Chandler's Rose for a closer look. Hold on. For a closer look to taste blend for peppermint bark. Okay. White chocolate. Oh, yes. Peppermint and a non-discoloring vanilla. All right. So that's a very important thing. And thank you, Chandler's Rose, for bringing that up. If you are using vanilla, don't forget to grab a vanilla stabilizer. All right. And Courtney says, Candle Science also has a peppermint mocha. All right. So do not forget that if you are using vanilla, you need to get either a non-discoloring vanilla, or if you're using vanilla, you have to get that stabilizer, or else your candle or soap is going to change in color. All right. We'll keep going to the next one. Pumpkin spice latte. Pumpkin spice latte. It's pumpkin, cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. Pumpkin, cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. All right. Cranberry woods. Cranberry woods. This is a blend of cranberry, pine, and cedar. Cranberry woods is cranberry, pine, and cedar. All right. The next one is autumn leaves. Autumn leaves. Oh, I think I need to try this one myself. All right. It's leaves, wood smoke, and musk. So since I said smoke and musk, I'm obviously going towards the masculine area that way. So let me repeat it again. Leaves, wood smoke, and musk. All right. That is autumn leaves. Also, fireside marshmallow is the next one. Fireside marshmallow. And Fireside Marshmallow is a blend of marshmallow, vanilla, and wood smoke. Marshmallow, vanilla, and wood smoke. And if I'm not mistaken, and Courtney, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't Flaming Candle have Fireside? It's either Candle Science or Flaming Candle. Somebody has a Fireside. But the Fireside Marshmallow, again, is marshmallow, vanilla, and wood smoke. All right, moving on to fall floral fragrance blends. All right, here we go with the first one, Apple Blossom. All right, and this one is a blend of apple blossoms, lily in the valley, lily of the valley, I said lily in the valley, and rose. All right, apple blossom, lily of the valley, and rose. All right, the next one, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum is a blend of chrysanthemum, camille, or chamomile, depending upon which way you pronounce it, and lavender. All right. And actually, Courtney found us a shortcut here with vanilla kissed chrysanthemum. All right. That might be one you just want to buy a blend of and kind of blend it down. All right. I'm going to keep going. This is one that I actually used to sell myself, and I may go back to it. It's called Dahlia. And Dahlia is a blend of dahlia, gardenia, and jasmine. Dahlia is a blend of dahlia, gardenia, and jasmine. All right, the next one, frangipani. This one's a tropical blend. It's like a kind of an exotic scent, and it's a blend of frangipani, jasmine, and tuberose. All right, frangipani is a blend of frangipani, jasmine, and tuberose. All right, hibiscus is the next one, hibiscus. Hibiscus is a blend of hibiscus, rose, and jasmine. Hibiscus, rose, and jasmine. All right, here's the next one, lily of the valley. Lily of the valley is lily of the valley, rose, and jasmine. So they all kind of interchange with the rose and the jasmine here for a few minutes, it looks like. How about changing it up just a little bit? Marigold. Marigold is a blend of marigold, cinnamon, and nutmeg. Marigold, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The next one is rose. And rose, this is a particular rose recipe. It's a blend of rose, jasmine, and sandalwood. Rose, jasmine, and sandalwood. The next one, is tulip. Tulip is a blend of tulip, lily of the valley, and rose. Tulip is a blend of tulip, lily of the valley, and rose. The next one is violet. Violet is a blend of violet, lily of the valley, and rose. Violet is a blend of violet, lily of the valley, and rose. And if I'm going too fast for you, don't forget that everything will be down in the comments that goes along with what I'm saying. All right, so I wanted to give a footnote really quick for those of you that are new to watching me. We don't give the exact percentages, but here is a recommended one because everybody blends a little bit different. I'll give you an example like I gave you. Let me just grab the last one I did. Violet. So whatever the name is, based upon the recipes that we did before, you do 50% of that one and like 25 and 25 of the next two. So for example, violet. So violet would be 50% violet 25% lily of the valley, and 25% rose. You can kind of play around with your percentages. I purposely did not give you percentages because different people blend different ways for the smell that they're going for. So that's why you don't hear me giving percentages. All right. So now we go on to the masculine blends. All right. So masculine, the first one that I have is amber. And amber is a blend of amber, musk, and vanilla. And some of these are repeats for what we went over earlier, but it was on my list, so a fall favorite, so I thought I'd throw it out there again. So in this case, it would be 50% amber, 25% musk, and 25% vanilla. All right, the next one is cypress. Cypress is cypress, eucalyptus, pine needles, and fir blossom. All right, let me say that again. Cypress, eucalyptus, pine needles, pine needles, and fir blossom. Balsam. Ugh, getting tongue-tied here. All right, the next one, frankincense. Frankincense. Frankincense, myrrh, and oak moss. Frankincense is frankincense, myrrh, and oak moss. All right, the next one, leather. And this one's always a fun one. All right, leather is a blend of leather, tobacco, and vanilla. Leather, tobacco, and vanilla. There are several variations of leather that you could do. A lot of people add pink sugar to it. I believe in Fragrance Nook, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you had suggested to us do blue sugar instead of pink sugar to make it more masculine with the leather as well. All right, so there's several spin-offs that you can use leather in. All right, the next one, musk. This one's pretty much same thing as the amber recipe was. Musk, except for this time you use musk at 50%, amber, and vanilla, whereas the last time for amber, it was amber at 50%, musk, and vanilla. All right. The next one, oak moss. Oak moss is a blend of oak moss, patchouli, sandalwood, and cedarwood. And thank you, Chandler's Rose. Repeating that, oak moss is a blend of oak moss, patchouli, sandalwood, and cedarwood. All right, the next one is always a popular one as well. Patchouli. Patchouli is patchouli, sandalwood, cedarwood, and oak moss. And again, you can buy patchouli straight as well. All right, the next one is sandalwood. So all of these are very similar. Sandalwood is sandalwood, patchouli, cedarwood, and oak moss. All right, so the recipe is just changing the order of how we put it in. All right. So let me repeat that. Sandalwood is sandalwood, patchouli, oak moss, and cedarwood. All right, the next one, vetiver. And this one is used a lot in masculine fragrances. It is vetiver, patchouli, sandalwood, and cedarwood. Repeating that, vetiver is vetiver, patchouli, sandalwood, and cedarwood. All right, that's a popular blend also with essential oils. All right, the next one, whiskey oak. Whiskey oak is kind of a warm and woodsy scent, by the way. It is whiskey oak and patchouli. Whiskey oak and patchouli. All right, so that's just a two oil blend. All right, and Courtney has found whiskey and oak for us. Okay, perfect. All right, so that's all I had for the masculine. because I wanted to try to give a variety. Let me give you a couple more here that I have because I'm trying to stay within the confines of the time. All right. I don't think I did this one. We did autumn leaves. We did that already. Cinnamon bark. I did peppermint bark before, so this time I'm going to do cinnamon bark. Cinnamon bark is cinnamon bark, nutmeg, and vanilla. So we had something that was very similar to that up top, but I'll say it again. They just call it a different name. Cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. Cinnamon bark. All right, this is one that we have not spoken about before. It's called clove smoke. Clove smoke. And this one is kind of sweet, but it's also pungent as well. But it's a blend of clove, smoke, and amber. And hello to my nephew. Hey, Makai. Thanks for coming through. All right. It is a blend of clove, smoke, and amber. That's clove smoke. All right. So what Courtney put in the chat for us is she put clove, and then she also did suede and smoke. So that should be an interesting smell. All right. And then amber was already in the chat before. All right. The next one is ginger snap. And Makai, thank you for not forgetting to come and support. I appreciate it. All right. Ginger snap is like a spicy kind of warming scent. All right. And it is a blend of ginger, cinnamon, and nutmeg. All right. Ginger, cinnamon, and nutmeg for ginger snap. All right. Okay, nutmeg chai. I was trying to make sure that I didn't repeat this before. Nutmeg chai is nutmeg, chai, and cardamom. So, previous in the podcast, Courtney gave us a chai fragrance oil. So, you could add that one. So, it's for nutmeg chai is nutmeg, chai, cardamom, and cinnamon bark. You can take the cinnamon out if you want to. It gives it both ways. All right. Oh, thanks, Courtney. Chai spice. Okay, perfect. All right. Oak moss and leather is the next one. Oak moss and leather, which is oak moss, leather, tobacco, and cedar wood. Oak moss, leather, tobacco, and cedar wood. Ylang and amber is the next one. And this is kind of like a floral and an exotic smell. All right. And it is ylang, or as I say, Y squared, amber, and sandalwood. Ylang and amber is ylang, amber, and sandalwood. All right. Black tea and fig. Black tea and fig is a blend of black tea, fig, and vanilla. Black tea and fig is black tea, fig, and vanilla. All right, we talked about that one already. And then smoked cocoa and tonka bean. This one's kind of like a rich, smoky smell. It is smoked cocoa, tonka bean, and vanilla. Smoked cocoa, tonka bean, and vanilla. And those are all the ones that I have for tonight. I wanted to give opportunity for others. If anybody else had any that they wanted to throw in, feel free to put them in the chat and we can talk about them. But those are some of the fall blends that I had. For me, I like anything pumpkin, spicy. I like that type of stuff year round. Also, anything with plum. All right, that's another one you can do for the fall and winter. And don't forget your currants, your red currant, your white currant, your black currant. Those are amazing mixed together, by the way. Red currant and white currant are amazing together. All right. And Courtney said, I couldn't find a smoked cocoa, but a small percentage of wood smoke might be a good addition. All right. And that is down in the comments. All right. All right. Does anybody have any recipes that you would like to share? Again, we always say nothing proprietary because I understand completely people don't want to share their proprietary blends. But does anybody have anything that you would like to throw in for the fall? And why are we talking about fall anyway when it is summertime? Well, summer is getting ready to start. We just had Memorial Day and the official kickoff of the summer season. You all should be, if you're following the retail schedule, looking for your fall fragrances and planning out your fall products because we always run a season ahead. All right, so that's why we're talking about fall today. And if I'll take this time to say, if you are on Instagram, I appreciate you for joining the live. If you are following me from the Nuts About Candles page on Instagram and stopping through, this live will be available over on YouTube under the podcast, which is Bubblez and Flamez, both with a Z. Bubblez and Flamez podcast. This will be available with all of the supplier links. All right, so please feel free to go over there. And while you're over there, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel for me. We have a lot of these that we do. All right. And as always, coming through in the clutch, the Chandler's Rose. She said, don't forget the blend or some of the blends that we could do: cranberry, orange, or pecan fragrance oils. That's why I love the Chandler's Rose. She always comes through with all of the different fragrance oils. This is what she does for a living. All right. Yes, they are very, she said autumnal. So very fall and very autumnish. I definitely agree. So if you are new to candle making, again, notice that you typically have your lighter scents for spring and summer, and also your clean fragrances, but then your heavier ones tend to be for the fall and the winter. All right. So don't forget that when you are doing your wick testing, because depending upon the fragrance, you might have to recheck your wick testing. Oh, and the Chandler's Rose came through and gave us some more. She said we can add in pistachio, black tea, and black tea is a great base for mints and citrus. All right. If you are a new candle or soap maker, don't forget to try and keep your fragrance oils in a dark area, or either in its original container. A lot of people change out the containers or the bottles that they're in. Just try to keep them in dark places so that they'll last longer. And one thing I did want to mention, I mentioned the Makesy. I mentioned Makesy last week. A lot of the suppliers had sales, and I hope you all were able to take advantage of that. Makesy did 20% off everything on their site. We also had Peach State coming in, Peach State Candle Supply here in Georgia. They ran sales, their candles and supplies. Um, Jeff is still running the lumens for $2 over at West End Candle Supply. There, so look around for your fragrances. All right, you definitely want to take advantage of the sales. And I said I wanted to make sure I didn't forget this because I got an email today. For those of us, including me, that use Makesy, they now have a new location that is in Dallas, Texas, right outside of Dallas, Texas. So if you are signed up with them, they now have a new location. So they have the mothership, which is on the West Coast, and they added on Texas. All right. So that was a big deal there, just outside of Dallas. So we look forward to that. That's going to be a huge difference in shipping for those of us that are out here on the East Coast. All right. Does anybody have any blends that they would like to add out there in YouTube land or on Instagram? And if you're watching us on Facebook, same thing. Does anybody have any blends that they would like to add? All right. Courtney actually suggested a fall sampler. She put that in the chat, and that's a very good idea. Get creative and come up with your own blends. If you are a body butter maker that is watching, because I have a lot of those individuals and businesses over on TikTok, it's a good time to start thinking about what you're going to offer for the fall. A lot of toasted marshmallow type scents. All right, so you'll make sure that you start working on those because the time does sneak up on us quickly. All right, and Courtney is still putting suppliers in the chat. So let me see down in the comments, what are some of your favorite fragrances for the fall? Like I said, for me, and I use this year round. I love the currants, the fruits like plums, pumpkins, things like that. I do them year round because I tend to like masculine and earthy, woodsy scents. There's a couple florals that I like, but pretty much I like the masculine scents. And rose is one that, and I don't even like rose like that, but I use them year round. Has anybody discovered any fragrance deals that you would like to share today down in the comments? Because we're always looking for good deals, right? So some of the things that we are working on behind the scenes, I spoke of a de-stash board or post. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do it yet so that everybody can go and we have a de-stash thing going, because I understand how it is. You get a fragrance, you absolutely hate it, and then you have someone who absolutely loves it. So we're trying to figure out how to work all of that out. So that's coming soon. I already mentioned to you why I hit episodes 12, 13, and 14, because I'm working on something behind the scenes. So it wasn't to be mean and take away the recipes. We're working behind the scenes to bring everything together. All right. And Courtney says, don't forget about any pumpkin and coffee blends. Ooh, that's a good one. Also, from the Chandler's Rose, she loves ocean fragrances during the fall, sea spray during September. They've started rolling on me here. September and October months. All right. It makes me think of the Maine coastline. Oh, I just looked at a college in Maine today, too, Miss Rose. Yesterday. That was yesterday. I looked at it. All right. She also says she likes doing black coconut and pecan. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Or yummy, as some people say. That's a good one. All right. Oceanside Air from Midwest is a great ocean scent. All right. How about, let's see, Courtney just mentioned Midwest. You mentioned Rustic Essentials. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I got to jump on my Facebook real quick. I feel like I'm missing somebody as far as suppliers go. We talked about Jeff and what he's doing. What am I missing? I'm missing somebody. I got to cheat real quick and look at my Facebook because I want to make sure I mention this supplier. Bear with me for 1 second. Scented Memory. Yes, that's another one. Scented Memory. They have some good fragrances as well. Who else am I missing? I mentioned Peach State Supply. I mentioned Candles and Supplies. I mentioned Makesy, the Flaming Candle. Oh, pecan waffles. Oh, that smells good. Who am I missing? Tell me some of your favorite suppliers, because everybody likes to know suppliers. All right. If you are joining us from Instagram, again, we do this every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. The fragrance portion, this is the first kickoff of the series. So if you go to the YouTube channel, you will actually see after tonight, you will actually see uh, a separate series section for the fragrance table. And this is not just going to be the recipes every month. We're going to talk about anything and everything fragrance. All right. So if you have a topic that you would like to discuss that pertains to fragrance, please feel free to DM that to me, either in Nuts About Candles or for Bubbles and Flames podcast. All right. And Courtney is given a lot here. So hold on. Let me give you some of the suppliers. Aztec, Candle Science, Scent Memory. All right. Maple Street Candle Supply. Oh, that's another good one too. What's the one that's in New York? There's a New York something. Also Save on Scents, Virginia Candle Supply. We want to make sure we shout out all of our suppliers. Don't forget about Maryland Wax Co. She also does scents. Just Scents. Yep. Sierra. Yep. They're all rolling in. All right. Oh, that's a good one. Oregon Trail Soaps. Oh, I forgot they sell fragrance oils. Oregon Trail Soaps also sells fragrance oils as well. All right. We're trying to make sure that we shout out all of our suppliers. Brambleberry. So I said Maryland Wax Company. Brambleberry. Also Hive and Honey. You've got, yep, we talked about Rustic Essentials and Bulk Apothecary. They're listed up above. You've also got Johanna over there at Porter Candle Supply. Lone Star, oh yes, they have some of my favorites too. Oh, wait a minute, Chandler's Road. That's a new one to me. Is it Libra Musk? What do they sell? I know obviously they sell fragrance oils, but what else do they sell? See, we try to we don't gatekeep over here. We try to make sure that everybody knows what all of their different options are. I mentioned Jeff. Going back to Jeff while I wait on Chandler's Rose to answer me about Liebermuth. Great show on YouTube for beginners. Great advice, excuse me, not show. Great advice for beginners. All right, Jeff Stanley, he's been around. We've all learned, especially when we first start, a lot from Jeff. So go check him out. All right. Liebermuth. That's a new one. Can you put their website in? Hi, Abba. I haven't forgot about you either. All right, Liebermuth. Okay. Oh, Courtney found it. You all have to tell, what do they sell on there? How about anybody that knows? Does anybody know anybody that's selling wax? Candle Cocoon. Studio Fragrance. Okay, I just got right to work. Candle Cocoon, Studio Fragrance. So for those of you that are watching and you're not writing these down, you definitely want to check the replay. And I'm going to type all these up and put them in the description details of the video. Candle Cocoon, Studio Fragrance. Okay, that's where I left off. Does anybody know anybody that is doing any wax sales? Jayla, for General Wax, do they sell fragrance oils? A good percent. No, I meant Courtney. Anybody that has wax on sale. That was for me personally. They do. Okay, thank you, Jayla. All right, so let's not forget General Wax as well. They sell fragrance oils for those of you that are on the West Coast. All right, because I want to make sure that I not only get the big makers out there, excuse me, the big supply houses out there, I also wanted to acknowledge the small ones. We've got a candle supply, Sunshine Candle Supply out of Florida as well. Wellington, they're a small business. Oh, well, Courtney, I was saving that one for last. California Candle Supply, thank you, Jayla. And Courtney threw in there AFI. AFI is a fragrance manufacturing house. You've got to order a minimum of 10 pounds. So check them out, AFI. Fragrance Buddy, flaming candles listed in the supply notes. Pure Fragrance. Wow, some of these are new to me too. So we definitely want to make sure that we support some of our smaller companies as well. And I think I said Hive and Honey already. Angie over at Hive and Honey. Yep, Nature's Garden. We've talked about them. Courtney put them in the notes as well. All right. So for those of you that are down in the comments, we have done a episode on wax. We've talked about vessels. We've talked about packing, shipping. We have talked about products, right? We've talked about a little bit about soap. So what do you all want to talk about now? I think I know. I have an idea, but put it in the chat for me. What are some of the things that you would like to talk about as far as the next episode, or we'll stretch it out to the next 2 episodes on the podcast? All right. For my soap makers out there, what are some of the topics that you all want to talk about? I know one of them, let me just go ahead and throw it out here. Community candle supply. Oh, that's a new one to me. The infamous wicks discussion. I struggle with wicking myself, and I've been making candles for years and I still struggle with wicking. So if you all want to talk about wicks next week, we can. I am not an expert. I will just put that out there now, but we can definitely have the wick discussion. We've talked about testing. Ooh, I like that one. Setting customer expectations and how to keep it reasonable. Yes, I'm going to snag that one, Chandler's Rose. Most definitely. Customer expectations, because we all need that, right? And Courtney is on a roll here with all the suppliers, so you'll definitely want to check out the comments. For those of you that are not saying anything in the comments, if you want to DM me any episode suggestions or something that you would like to see on the podcast and you want it discussed, by all means, send me a DM. If you want to come on stage and be an actual guest, you can also DM me as well. And you do have the option to pre-record your episode where we can do your interview and you don't have to be live. Man, Courtney is on a roll with these suppliers today. So you all definitely need to check out the comments, all right? So you can see, because she is on a roll. So we've also discussed events and pop-ups. How's everybody doing? This is event season. So how is everybody doing with your pop-ups? How's everybody's events and pop-ups going? I really do want to know these type of things. So you can put them down in the comments below. I do go back and read the comments and I do answer them. Also, I mean, Courtney is on a roll today. She is putting some people out here I have never heard of before. All right. And also, if you want to keep the conversation going, I do have a Facebook community group, which this podcast is streamed live in every week. And it is called Bubblez and Flames Community Podcast over on Facebook. Hey, Rob. Mr. Dapper Guru. Abba says she hasn't done anything so far, but I've got one coming up on June 11th. It was invite only. That's why I'm doing it. All right. So, Abba, you'll have to report back. And if you want me to post the advertising for you on here under the community tab, I will. Just send me the information. Indigo has great customer service, so you all need to check them out. I've never heard of them before, so I'm glad that you all mentioned that to Chandler's Rose and Courtney. Stone candles, yeah, stone candles is pretty good. Stone candles can be what is considered pricey, but they're really good, and their fragrances are good too. No problem, Abba, always. Courtney says she has one Sunday. Rob says he has one in June coming up. Rob is doing big things out there in Montana. All right, he's doing big things. And he got recognized by Midwest Candle Supply. So we talked about that last week. Oh, Courtney, how could I forget Vanessa at 1617? How could I forget? And Rob is doing the farmer's market all summer. But again, he's in Montana. All right. But if this is your community for candle soap makers, also for anybody that is in the body or fragrance oil industry, if you have something that you want me to put on the channel, just shoot me a DM and let me know. As long as there is nothing crazy in it, I will gladly post it. All right, so here's one. Courtney said this one is new to me, but Cajun Candle. Are they out of Louisiana by chance? I'm waiting for her to answer. All right, so I think I have covered everything that I need to cover. Again, this is a fragrance episode. So when we talk about the fragrance, you know, we always give away recipes, and we are into the hundreds that we have given away on this channel for free. And again, the website is coming soon, and I'm working on that now. I keep wanting to add more and more stuff, so it's taken me a little bit longer, but the website is coming. I truly want to make this a true community, so please spread the word. And again, go and have everybody subscribe. I'm trying to get up to that 1,000. I'm looking for sponsors for the podcast so we can keep this community growing. And follow us on social media. We are on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and definitely the mothership for this podcast is on YouTube. And we are also on all the podcast platforms as well: Spotify, iHeartRadio. Everything except for Apple. I haven't gotten us on Apple yet. All right. So, with that being said, I have just a few seconds left here. Customer expectations. Sounds like we're going to do that one next week. If not next week, the week after. And also, we will have the wick discussion. If you are a soap maker, like I said, and you have something that you would like to talk about, feel free to DM me either at Bubblez and Flames on Instagram or Nuts About Candles, or you can always put it down in the comments, even during the replay. All right. So that is all that I had. Thank you to everybody who is watching me again, whether you are on Instagram, Facebook, or on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I appreciate it. And that is all that I had for tonight. For my mods, do you all have anything else that you want to add? Do you all have anything else that you want to add? All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and close it out. As always, I hope that this has been helpful for you. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them down in the comments below. Until then, we'll see you next week. Signing out. Everybody have an amazing week and talk to you soon. Good night.